Okay, hello again. This is the third video for Learning Objective 3 about describing the various communication channels. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. I'm going to turn off my camera for bandwidth. All right, so you can see here, Learning Objective 17-3, describe the various communication channels. So the company has to deliver the right message to the right audience through the right media, right? Right? Okay. Oh my gosh, it's late, so I may be crazy by the time this is over. The goal is that we want to profit from long-term customer relationships, not just short-term transactions. In other words, we don't want a person to just buy from us once. We want to develop a long-term relationship so that we get repeat business and or referral business to friends and family and that kind of thing, right? So just a few thoughts in general. There's no one channel that's necessarily better than another. It depends on the product, the customer, the firm, what stage the customer's in, like we just talked about. So there's not one specific channel that's better than another. And we're going to look at kind of a grid here in a minute. The other thing is that reaching your target audience is complicated because there are so many options in the media environment now. So the real goal of IMC, integrated marketing communication, is to use the channels in conjunction so that the benefit of all of them exceeds each individual channel. And that's, basically creating a synergistic relationship between the different channels. So the goal is use a bunch of them together so that you get a bigger benefit than you would if you just used them individually. And this is the idea we talked about a minute ago, that everything has to be consistent across these channels. All right. So this is a grid. I'm going to have to make this a little smaller so I can get it all on here. How can I do that? Sorry, give me just a second. No, I want to go the other way. That's not working. Ah. Oh, here we go. Okay, one more. There we go. I'm going to win in just a minute. Let's see. Maybe not. There we go. Okay. So I have this 4-quadrant box here. And I have across the top 2 boxes, I have interactive media versus passive media. And then I have offline versus online. So the 2 boxes on the top are interactive types of media, and the 2 boxes on the bottom are passive types of media. So if we look at interactive, we have personal selling, sales promotion, so like contests, coupons, that kind of stuff. Direct marketing, so that's telemarketing, calling people up. Direct marketing, mobile marketing, online marketing, blogs, social media. So we also have on the left 2 boxes are offline, so they're not online. The right 2 boxes are online types of media. So if we look at interactive and offline, we have personal selling, sales promotions, and direct marketing. Passive and offline, we have advertisements, sales promotions, which are coupons. Sorry, I mentioned coupons up there, but it's really down here because they're passive, right? A contest is interactive, a coupon is passive. Public relations, which again, if you remember, I think we talked about public relations before. Public relations is like coverage you get that you don't pay for. So it's like if the news did something about your company, or somebody in your company got an award and that got covered, and it would give your company like free advertisement. That's public relations. And direct marketing, which would be like if I shipped catalog to your house or some sort of direct mail. Nope, direct mail is over here because that's online. So catalogs would show up in your mailbox because that's offline. If I look on the right side for the online, interactive online would be mobile marketing. So SMS messages, text messages, that kind of thing. Online marketing, blogs, social media. And then for passive, direct marketing, which would be email marketing. So you can see here that there's quite a few choices. And within each of these categories, there's multiple ways to do this, right? So as you can see here, there's just lots of media options. So let's look at a little bit about each one of these. So advertising is the placement of announcements and persuasive messages in time or space. So it usually is information about the company, the product, or some idea. It's paid. It's a paid form of communication. It's traditionally passive and offline. Now there's more online. We see a lot of online ads, and there are some interactive types of ads now. So this kind of got a little boost with online. But its main goal is to inform people about something and to persuade them to be interested or to purchase. Public relations is an organizational function. It manages communication. Every company will have like a public relations department, and the goal of that public relations department is to build and maintain a positive image. They handle or head off any unfavorable stories or events. They try to maintain positive relationships with the media. It's passive. Customers don't have to take action to receive it. This just kind of floats out there in uh, space and time. It also supports other promotional efforts by generating free media attention. Then we have sales promotions. These are special incentives or excitement building programs. So coupons, rebates, contests, samples, point of purchase displays. But a sales promotion's job is to encourage customers to purchase. It's generally used in conjunction with other advertising or personal selling programs. They're usually designed to build short-term sales. So those samples at Costco, they're not worried about you being a long-term customer. They just want you to buy the first one, and they're going to hope you like it enough to be a returning customer. So point of purchase displays in a grocery store, same idea, just to get your attention, get you to make that first initial purchase, and then hope you like it enough to become loyal. Some are designed to build loyalty, like contests or sweepstakes. Personal selling, this is a two-way flow of communication between a buyer and a seller, and its purpose is to influence the buyer to buy. It happens in many settings. It could be face-to-face. Nowadays, it could be a Zoom call or Teams call. There is a very high cost. This is one of the most expensive ways to communicate with a customer, because typically it's kind of one-on-one, right? And it's got that personal aspect. So there's a body here that you're having to pay for every interaction. So it is a high cost compared to other forms of promotion, but it is the best and most efficient way to sell a lot of products and services, because people like that human interaction. And if I'm talking to a salesperson, that salesperson is an expert and they can answer my questions on the spot. I don't have to get another email or talk with a chat bot or do a bunch of research. So depending on the product or service, even though this is the most expensive, it may be the best choice for your channel. It simplifies the buying process for the customer. That salesperson provides information and services. It reduces the time and the effort that the customer has to spend. So it's kind of the idea that a personal salesperson adds extra value for the customer because it reduces the time and effort required for them to make the purchase decision. All right, direct marketing is marketing that communicates directly to the target market. And the idea is to get a response or a transaction. So traditionally, this has been mail, catalogs sent through the mail, but nowadays it's also email or mobile marketing. Email, we've seen a real rapid growth of direct marketing because of the internet. So email, the goal is to inform the customer of new merchandise or promotions, to confirm the receipt of their order, to tell them when something has shipped, And nowadays, even to tell them when it's expected to arrive and when it has arrived. So, they've gotten real fancy with all this track your order stuff now, and that is a beautiful thing. Mobile direct marketing, it can function as a payment medium. It enables us to have customer databases, so where we can track the customer over time and we can see their across different purchase situations. Another kind of piece of this puzzle is the idea of store credit and loyalty cards and online shopping. We can get data from all of that, right? We get their information. And with that information, now we can more easily target and focus this direct marketing to specific customers more effectively. So it's all about the data. Mobile marketing, this is through a wireless handheld device. So phones, iPads, those types of things. The success of mobile marketing depends on integrating the marketing communication with fun, useful apps that are consistent with customer attitudes toward mobile devices. So the goal is to use mobile marketing to improve their experience using their mobile interface. And I think you would agree that companies have figured this out, right? I mean, I don't know how many apps you have on your phone, but I got a lot of apps on my phone. And I would say that every one of them improves my customer experience. Online marketing. These are electronic media vehicles, so websites, blogs, social media. Websites are tools to sell products and services directly to the customer. So most companies have a way for you to buy directly from them. The website also is a great way to build your brand image. It the content there is going to help educate the customer about your product and service. It might tell them where they can purchase or how they can purchase. It may offer a community building opportunity. So, like, there may be a way to ask or share information with others. It encourages reviews and pictures and videos. One of the things I like about shopping on Etsy is I don't only get reviews there, but a lot of people will post like the actual product that they received. And I think that's really important, especially on Etsy where a lot of the things are, customized and individualized. So I personally like that. And I think that's a really cool aspect of websites as well. And those, of course, those reviews are one of the things that build customer loyalty, which is a competitive advantage. And then we have blogs. These are periodic posts on a website. It's like an online diary. Some of the most popular blogs are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Oh, I'm sorry. This is social media. Sorry. Okay, you see the line there? We're changing from blogs to social media. So social media, most popular is YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Customers' reviews are posted there. They communicate and aggregate information about products, prices, and promotions. If you, I like Reddit. I don't know if y'all ever use Reddit, but sometimes I'll be like, uh, is this a good price for something? And you can always find out on Reddit what people are paying for different things. You've got messenger apps like WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, WeChat, chatbot integrations on everything nowadays. So, this is a great way to distribute content and to facilitate personal interactions with your target market. So, this whole thing, social media thing is just morphing. Now you're seeing advertising on podcasts. I know my son is a big TikTok person, and he recently moved to Facebook as well. And he was telling me that he gets paid now if you post a video on Facebook. Now you'll get about halfway through the video, and then it'll run an ad, and then it'll come back to the video. Y'all have probably seen that. Um, and so these advertisements inside these videos are another kind of a newer thing that is out there. But the whole goal is just to Again, make your brand, your product, and your value proposition very visible in these spaces. All right, I'm going to stop here. I'll make another video for Learning Objective 4, which will be the methods used to allocate the budget for IMC.